Specks of red in those in and amongst that crowd are almost certainly the Make America Great Again caps that have been part of Donald Trump's rallies for the last few years. Well, let's speak to Ella Nilsen, White House reporter for Vox. She's with us in Washington. Ella, what are you hearing about this protest?
Yeah, well, what I'm hearing right now is that staff and members in the Capitol are being evacuated to a safe zone. I think the most recent reporting is that the Capitol Police now have the Capitol on lockdown. So it's a tense and unfolding situation there. There are a lot of protesters outside, and this
Well,
turned very quickly.
And Ella, I'm just going to interrupt you because these protesters are outside for the moment, but they're getting very close to being inside. Just as you were speaking to me then, a group of, well, it's difficult to estimate, but certainly we're talking about hundreds here of protesters have started to push up those steps. They're waving American flags, and the security personnel who had been stopping them going up the steps appear to have decided that they were going to pull back. This is quite extraordinary.
Yeah, it's nothing that I've ever seen. Certainly in my few years of covering Capitol Hill, and I think reporters who have been there much longer would say the same. I don't know of any time in modern American history where a group of protesters have tried to invade the Capitol complex.
Have any of the organisers of this march talked about what they're hoping to achieve today beyond express their support for Donald Trump?
I mean, we have to remember that today the House and Senate are supposed to, formally certify the electoral college results, and basically this is the final step that would ensure that President-elect Joe Biden will become the next president of the United States. And obviously, these protesters, their goal is to stop that from happening. Although, it's happening right now. It's probably a process that's going to take all day. There is absolutely no indication that this is going to change it. But if it causes enough disruption to, maybe put things on hold, I don't know if that is part of the protesters' plan. But certainly they are causing plenty of disruption outside.
Stay with us if you would. Let me just also pass on, the AFP news agency is saying that those within offices in Congress are being told to evacuate because of the security situation we're seeing playing out on the steps. The BBC's Lebo Diseko, who we were hoping to speak to around now, has tweeted, "We're now being evacuated from the Cannon House office building, which is part of the Capitol building." And we know that two representatives from the House of Representatives, the lower house of Congress, have tweeted that they're sheltering in their office because the building has been evacuated. So while that instruction to evacuate has come, clearly, Ella, some people have decided it's not safe for them to leave their offices to evacuate, and they're staying put.